Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
What do you get when you mix two white boys, both named Mike? A thing for Justin Timberlake and a piercing above your eye. Was he high? Their stories alone could make you cry. That's when you want to make your Irish goodbye.
Also, that logo doesn't look anything like either. That looks like two manly men who are gonna like fucking double team your girl behind your back.
That's why it's us.
Yeah, you don't think that's our vibe?
You guys are AZ twinks.
AIDS Twinks. Well, now I am. Thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
That
he's
means I
actually
lost
taking
weight.
it as a compliment since he lost a lot of weight. You know that, right?
You could use some
You
AIDS.
actually, yeah, because you're the opposite. You're not losing weight. Yeah.
I guess that's the perk of having this network. You just sit in on any show you want at any time.
Call people gay.
Yeah.
Yes, AIDS and ruin and shit on the logo
Not a
of the
problem.
podcast on the network.
It's
That's
not a
how it is.
problem.
You've
Nothing
had
but respect for that
over
move.
a year to give us notes on this.
It's the first time I noticed you even had a logo. I had no idea. Look at it. It's terrible. That doesn't look like you guys.
It's great.
What part of it isn't us? It's got Feeney's huge teeth.
Yeah,
It's
like
got-
great hair.
It's got
Zoom
what
into
my
it.
hair used to be before I decided to go full radical.
First off, welcome everybody to another episode of Irish Goodbye Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Mike Feeney, being joined as always
By Mike Cannon with our booked guest. Very excited for this guy
Yes.
to join us, Mr. Shane Gillis.
Yeah, Shane.
Hey,
Thanks for
yeah.
coming on the show,
What
man.
up, Lewis?
And a fun surprise,
Yeah, the Puerto Rican rattlesnake
the owner,
himself.
the proprietor,
the Führer,
the Führer, more like, Louis J. Gomez.
Louis J.
Thank you guys for having me. I saw you guys
Nobody
and I
clapped.
walked by and I was like, you know what? Let me go in there and just ruin the beginning of their show.
Yeah,
That's good.
Job well done.
That's what I'm going for.
I appreciate you bringing
glad to
as
see
much
it.
energy as humanly
Shane, I
possible.
don't know what Shane's thing is. Shane's thing is, here's Shane. He's a phony.
Don't tell me
Okay,
that.
I want
I'm
everyone-
happy to see it.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Shane's a phony. Okay, Shane, his whole thing on podcast is that he's a fucking dick to me. That's his
No,
whole
I'm
thing.
not. I
He's
just
like,
said I was
I
happy
don't
to
like
see it.
Lewis. I'm a piece of shit to him. I tell him what his place is. He's a dumb fucking idiot. Fuck you. And
I
then,
don't say that.
as soon as we're off podcast, Shane's the sweetest person in the world.
He seems very
There's
nice.
nobody nicer. There's nobody fucking nicer. He's sweet. Like, he'll be like, but dude, I hurt your feeling. I'm sorry, dude. Like, I want to be your. He couldn't be any fucking nicer.
Yeah.
But then his personality on podcast is a fucking cunt, and I'm gonna beat him up in real life
Hey, why are you upset?
because this fucking personality.
Because you haven't acknowledged our friendship, Shane.
It's
Our
psychotic.
friendship.
I
I'm
defend
sick
you.
of it.
I defend
You
you.
defend nothing.
People
They shit on me
you.
because of you.
And I say, Lewis is great.
Lewis is getting bullied because of Shane.
No, I say Lewis is great.
They only shit on me because of shit. It's like, no, they're like, dude, Lewis the fucking
slow down.
a snake oil salesman, right, Shane? What a
down.
loser snake oil salesman, right, Shane? Right, dude?
Slow
And then
down.
Shane's gonna go, nah, dude, I don't believe that at all. It's like, but you said that on every podcast for the past 6 months.
But it's the Puerto Rican snake oil salesman. That's what he's forgetting.
Puerto Rican rattlesnake oil salesman. You stink. You can't even trash me correctly.
I thought it was enough. The trashing was also leaving off the rattle part.
Wow, I didn't realize there was going to be so much tension in
Fire.
the
It's happening
market.
every morning.
Attention.
No, I really love you guys. I do have to go though.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
I have to go pick up my child.
Oh, shit.
That'll be
You better
me
hurry up.
soon, next week.
Your kids do?
I think by the time this comes out, he might be here.
It already will, because this is coming out in
by
2
the time
weeks.
this plays live, he might be here. Who knows?
Right.
By the time this comes out, he may come out. By the time this plays live, he might be playing live.
Or live.
The first one was a good gay
All
slam,
right.
and then
Yeah.
after that,
Walk
it was-
off on that fucking bomb.
Yeah. Alex, where's that drop? But we have a great show.
My heart is racing.
Yeah, I got a little-
Yeah, that
Bro,
was
Jesus
a
Christ.
that was a fun
I
tension.
got a little nervous, man.
I mean, how could
I
you
don't
not?
want him to fucking attack me.
He also, and this could be because he's obviously out of shape and just isn't used to exerting that much energy. He had the white shit gathering at the corner of his
Yes,
mouth.
yeah, the little cookie crumbs, comes.
but just like rabid dog
Right.
crumbs, like
Yeah,
that
he was
shit.
fired up. I think
Well, here's-
a lot of that was real.
Here's what happened. He just got done recording a podcast with Bisbing. So
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
in fighter mode. He's
Oh,
in like,
like,
let's
yeah.
talk testosterone.
That's
for
a good
an hour.
energy to go pick up his kid with.
Yeah. Are you near my son? Are you near my son?
Fucking runs high knees through a children's playground.
Yeah. Well, Shane, thanks for being on the program, man.
Yeah, man.
This
Thanks
is
for having
fucking. This is wild. This is well. That's a funny way to start too, because
I
we were
suppose
just
it is.
yeah, because we just did Real Ass Podcast together, and that's what always seems to happen though. But it is very fun trashing Lewis. I got to be
Oh,
honest.
it's the best.
Well, because
He's such a good sport about it.
yes, but he's also a fucking open wound. Clearly,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
constantly dealing with his own trauma, and eventually, it all spills out of his mouth at once.
I mean, I could see that clip going mega viral just because of our fan base first and foremost, obviously
Yeah,
our
yeah,
listener
being
base.
in the
But
millions.
but otherwise, just that.
I got to touch on this because
ahead.
I did Shane's show yesterday. Would you like to plug it, Shane?
Oh, sure.
Wow,
It's
now.
a fair one on Compound Media.
Hell yeah, a fair
Where
one.
is that again?
It's on Compound Media.
Compound Media. That's it, baby. Check it out.
It's on the Free Speech Network.
It's
Yeah.
very, it's very funny.
I
we
gotta
both
say,
have done it now.
thank God it was on kind of a pay
Yeah.
platform last night because I really went personal with a lot of my family
I
members.
missed it. I missed it.
Yeah,
I wasn't there
I mean,
for that.
by name, by job title, like really giving out some information. I basically doxed them.
Oh my god.
Good.
Yeah, or gave the tools to people to do so. yeah. But Shane got caught in that fucking rain
Oh, my God.
yesterday.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how exciting it's going to be to listeners, but man, I've never been in rain like that. Literally in my fucking life. It was fucking insane.
That was hurricane. It was a hurricane. It was
Yeah.
Hurricane Barry.
It was crazy.
I gotta just paint the picture of what it, because Tommy Pope and I, past guest on the show, were just kind of like, bullshitting. You got the guys on the couch. We're having a good time. We knew Shane was going to come in late, but we had no idea what's happening in the outside world. And Shane walks in dripping, like covered in water, as if he just got out of
It
a
was
bath.
as if I was underwater.
Like a dad that just lost his family. Like truly that upset, head down, and I'm just looking through the
man.
wall. It's the funniest fucking image I've ever seen in my life.
I went from never mind.
Wet sad, wet
talking
sad
some
Shane
shit.
has got to be one of the funniest visions.
It's tough, man.
I gotta say, your hair fell right into place, though.
It did look nice.
Yeah.
That's because I was fucking doing that when I walked in, and then I looked in the monitor, and I was like, "Oh, nice." I should actually do my hair once before I lose it next week.
But that's the thing.
Christ.
Post-rain hair might be the greatest your hair could ever be. Yeah,
Not
it's
when you
very
got-
difficult
my
to
hair's
recreate.
thinning. When my hair gets wet, it's fucking insanely. Like you can just, it's like bald. It's
Oh,
bald.
See,
shit.
scalp.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
yeah.
yeah. Like if I'm in a pool, I look like I'm like 58. It's fucking crazy.
Because it sops
crazy.
down to that part of
Yeah,
Oh fuck.
That sucks when it all just cuts, like it just clumps together and you
Yeah.
see the top of your scalp.
You're like,
and
oh,
it's
this
all
is
over.
like a loose leaf on top of a hole. That's what your hair is.
It's like a trick. Like I walk, like if I'm at the pool, I look like just like a fat 12-year-old walking around.
Sure.
And then if I jump in and like come out of the water, it's like Jesus Christ. That's like
What's in that water?
75.
The chlorine is aging people 50 years.
This pool in Chernobyl.
Chernobyl.
Yeah. Hey.
I like
there
that
you go.
title.
So we fucking Alex has those glasses back on, which I can't believe you snuck those back on. And this was already after Lewis had left. That's when you put them on.
It's a different pair. It's a new pair.
No, those are her post-trauma glasses also. She needs to see through pink just to remember that the world is a positive place.
Like the kid from Big Daddy.
Yeah,
Like it's
those are her invisibility glasses. Alex, where'd you go? I'm right here.
Yesterday, I was home when that hurricane thing hit, and I had pressed send to hit delivery, like to get like seamless web, and then I heard noise and I looked out, and I opened the blind of my to look outside the like outdoor area I have, and my chair went flying past the frame, like just got shotgunned across
Holy
my
shit.
balcony area. Yeah, it just went flying, and I tried to open the door, but the wind was so strong it wouldn't open. I had to just wait. I was like, maybe it's there, maybe it's not, and it was against the next person's like fence, like up almost over. Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh shit.
Did the guy get there?
So the delivery came an hour. So here's the thing. I was like, what do I do in this situation? I got to be understanding of this, And so
Well, if Rebecca Trent's Facebook statuses mean anything to you, that's the time to order.
Really?
from these places. Yeah, especially
Really?
mom and pop places, because the weather actually destroys their potential income. So if you order from them, and obviously tip in a in a proper compensation, but like if you're supposed to order at that time.
So this
Send the
guy.
Mexicans out
Yeah.
into the rain.
Well,
I
ironically,
guess easy for Rebecca to say when
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
getting
the
high in
white
her
people
apartment and just
making the
sending out
money.
illegal to Wild
Yeah.
City.
Ironically, I ordered Mexican food, so I was waiting. The creek doesn't deliver it to my apartment, so I order it, and it was. I waited for an hour past when it said it was going to get there, and like the seamless time, which is already like 35, 40 minutes, so it was probably like almost 2 hours, and then I eventually called and was like, I understand, but also where is it? Like, you know.
Take a fucking raft.
And no, he got there, and I gave him an extra tip because he was fucking soaked for sure. But he kept the food dry. He kept the fucking food dry. El Mariachi, go support that business, everybody.
Yeah, what a goddamn nightmare. I will say this: we've gotten some. Your listeners were kind of troubled by the fact that you were late last night, or one of them was like, "Where
really?
the fuck is Shane Gillis?" Which is very fun because lately. We were just talking about this before in terms of people that just overly DM you, or you just talk to them, you end up answering, because obviously we're in a position in our career where we're trying to cultivate a following. Yeah. So we want to be reachable. We want to have access. But then there's people that are like, we are best friends. I'm going to talk to you 3 times a day. I'm going to tell you just, the banalities of my life constantly and expect the same from you.
It's tough. Some of these guys just plow right through it. Like this one guy, I like him. He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
There's some fucking dude from Canada that sends me pictures of his food every day. Like,
wait, what
every
meals?
Single day.
Breakfast,
this guy
lunch,
is
or dinner?
constantly grilling meat. And
So
just
he's
sends
your
me a
personal
video
Joe
of
Rogan
him
Instagram feed?
opening the fucking grill and filming it, and that's it. And I'll occasionally tap like on it.
Well, there's your
Yeah.
first problem.
Oh,
And
that's-
every day.
You know what I wish you could do? I wish you could. You know when you have the moment where you could accept.
Here's. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah,
Here's
yeah,
what's crazy about it is I already feel bad.
Right.
Yeah.
If he's listening, I don't want him to get his.
No,
keep
no.
sending the fucking meat videos, dude.
And we do
I
need
appreciate
you.
it.
Yeah, but this is what I. Yeah, don't ever think.
Yeah, don't ever go away.
No.
But you're making us uncomfortable.
Just take a step back. Send food twice a week.
Buddy, I've been talking to this guy
Twice a week?
that has been like so nice. He's like, the Portland, Maine gig, I've been, promoting the shit out of it because it's a
Right.
door deal and I'm going to lose my shirt on it.
Yeah.
But he's like, dude, I'm going to drive from so far away. I'm coming. I just bought 2 tickets, blah, blah, blah. And then he'll get drunk and write incoherent crazies that are just absolute bananas. And he's like, blame Feeney, I'm hammered. And I'm like, okay, I guess I will. And then
That's what I was planning on doing,
but then
I
he
guess.
called me. Then he called me
the
on
calling.
Facebook Messenger, and I'm like, I can't have this.
Did you answer?
No, of course
Right.
not. I almost wrote immediately, but I was like, I'm just not. I'll just
Sure.
say it on the podcast.
Sure. Yeah. They'll hear it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it's been a while since he sent me some meat.
Oh!
I mean,
Dude, isn't that the
what's
worst?
happening, bro?
Yeah, you can't find it. Here's the thing. Don't you wish you could have one of those things where the first time you get a message from somebody who you don't follow or whatever, it says, like, do you want to accept it or ignore it? And then it'll say something nice usually or whatever, so you accept it and then you respond. I wish every time after that you can go back to accept or ignore.
Yeah.
So that way it won't recognize as seen if you want to look at it, But once you accept their thing,
Yeah.
they're good forever until you have to just... There's somebody also that... For sure, sent me like so many sexually explicit, like
Dude.
yeah, just like so many things to me, commenting like really creepily on every single picture of me and all this other stuff, where still sends me messages. But the first one sent me was like, love the show, or something like that. So you're like, okay. And then they're like, and we're in, And then they fucking try and package you. And I've just been
And
deleting
eventually
it.
you're blowing them.
Yeah. I deleted
wears
it
you down.
forever. I'll never read another one again from that person.
Well, I have an autistic gay fan named Rob, and he was like, when I did my week at the Creek, he was literally the only person in the crowd one night. So
I've seen a couple week at the Creeks.
Oh, yeah.
Some of them are
Weak.
sad, bro. It's a rough time.
Oh man, if you just want to
sorry.
say something out loud to chairs, that
It's
is
crazy.
Yeah.
It was. I'm sorry.
No, please.
The
This
autistic
is
gay
the
guy's
show,
gonna
by the
get-
way.
Yeah, please
Interrupt
get
as
in
much
here.
as humanly
Yeah.
possible.
Trey. I was doing Trey. You guys know Trey Gallen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. He asked me to host for him week at the Creek, and I got there and it was literally just me and him, and like one other guy.
And you do
There's
it?
one guy sitting in the chair, and I was like, "Do I have to? Should I go do 10?
Yeah.
Like to us?
Right.
Should I just talk to you guys?" And I did. I think I ran the light.
Like, well, they were a good crowd. They were a
The
good
guy was
crowd.
having fun.
I did quite well.
And then he had to go to the bathroom.
Oh my
The guy in the
god!
crowd was like, I kind of have to.
Did you guys just take a
I
5?
was like, go ahead.
I'll just keep talking.
Grab me a beer. I'll tell the sound guy about my.
I think they used to do that at like Dangerfields or something like that, or maybe the Comedy Store. Like, this is back in the day when they had no audience members and the show was still going, or they were trying to get the show off the ground. They would just perform for nobody, so when people were walking in, they didn't feel uncomfortable.
Potluck. There was
just a show happening.
right.
That's the. I can't even imagine.
That's
Dude, I went to Dangerfields twice this year, and the first time was for 5 people.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of the worst things I've ever done. 5 fucking people, and the way they introduced me, they're like, there was a bunch of like hosts and shit I've never heard of. There's a bunch of, like, old fucking New York comics.
Yeah.
Like, old New York comics that have just been fucking stuck here forever. And they were like, "What's up, young blood?" Like, fucking, like, oh man,
It is the American
was
Legion
there-
Comedy Club of New
Yeah,
York.
I
for sure.
told about it on this podcast, but I was there on St. Patty's Day, and it was a scene, man, and not in like a fun like let's party way, in like a deserted, but like shamrocks hanging up from the walls, and
Well, I
I
said-
told about how the host didn't know what was going. He didn't know anything. All that
Your name.
my name, the least of it, but
Not
I meant
even
like
close,
didn't
yeah.
understand what Irish people drank. It was a whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
forgot about that.
It was great. I fucking forgot about this. It was a black guy that was like, and he was doing crowd work.
Mhm.
He was like an old black dude doing crowd work to the 5 people, and one of them was Asian. And he was like, "What's your name, man?" And the guy was like, "Kevin." He was like, "Kevin, I thought you were gonna be named like fucking Ching Chong or something." Anyway, your next comic.
Dude, that's definitely the same host for sure.
Yeah.
That's definitely
Gotta
the
be
one
the guy,
that
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
know. He got every single crowd work interaction wrong. Everyone.
Oh, that was the show. They were like, "We're giving him a shot. We're gonna see if he can get past here."
Yeah.
And I was on stage. I was like, "I don't want to get past here. Why would I ever want to do this?
All you
I'm
want to
never
do
coming back."
is like touch the piano that Kinnison touched, and then
Yeah.
you're like, I think I got all I can out of this
But
place.
the room
It is
awesome.
It's a fucking
Yeah,
awesome
I
room.
know.
I
Room's
love
awesome.
that room.
It's funny that I still feel like I need to hedge my bets. And be like, you know what? Just in case.
All of us.
Dangerfield-
Did you see? We all were like, love it. Love
My
it.
agent works closely with this club. I am not in a position to talk poorly about it, but
Yeah.
I even said when
I'm
I went up
past
there,
there.
I was like, this is like a museum that's been underwater since the 70s.
Yeah.
I was like, it's just ridiculous.
It's like a comedy club in a time capsule inside a genie's bottle. You know what I mean? Like that's sort of the color.
well, and the guys that even like the host that were not the host of the actual show, but the
Yeah.
host that like seats people and is there and greets comedians. He does it. He seems like a figment of your imagination.
Yeah, it's
I think he's the guy from the bathroom scene in The Shining, where
It
he's
really
like,
is.
Mr.
Yes.
Torrance, you have always been
exactly
the proprietor.
what I
was
pictured
like-
when I said what I said.
I was like, "Can I get a beer?" And they're like, $8. I was like, I'm losing money on this too. Like, this is just,
They're like, and that's half
this is
price.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a. I mean, this is brutal that we're just trashing them, but whatever. they have like
Yeah.
a GeoCities website, and the banner is like a proud. We don't develop new comedians. It's just such a weird thing. No new talent nights. Fuck you if we don't
Yeah.
know you.
I remember reading
God.
that when I first started comedy, and I was like, "Oh, whoa! I guess I got to work to get there."
I know, same.
You gotta
Yeah.
work to avoid it.
Yeah.
That's what you gotta get good enough to be like when you get an offer to do that, you can be like, no.
Now, this for sure I've talked
thanks.
about on the podcast, but that was my first comedy show ever as a kid. Was Dangerfields.
Really?
16.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like that club is
Oh, it could
so
be
fucking
amazing.
awesome inside.
Yeah.
Like how fucking old and like cool. Like the room's perfect.
Its room is awesome.
Whenever I've been there, I did it twice, and both times it was like 5 people and then 3,
Yeah, it was never enough.
and it was I couldn't believe it.
Well, those young comedian things that the Rodney things that they used to do there, those show like they were so fucking hot. That's the only live performance of stand up in a club that really kind of felt like you were there because it was such a hot crowd. They were like that Kinnison set is like 10 minutes of fucking 105-mile-per-hour fastballs.
Robin
Just-
Williams did it too, didn't he? Is
I'm
that
not
the
sure
one
if
that
he
he
did,
did?
but
when he was,
Seinfeld
wandering
did
through
it.
the
Like
crowd?
all those Dice broke on that. I think Seinfeld, like all these guys did that shit, and it was like such a fucking hot crowd. You know that room is still capable of it.
Yeah. Well, I again
Just needs an
also
audience.
to defend them. I did only do like a fucking Tuesday and a Wednesday.
Yeah, I've done a weekend and it's been fine.
I heard the
Like,
weekends
yeah,
were pretty
it's
good
fine.
there. Yeah, yeah.
you know, anything. I guess anything can be good when there's people there.
Yeah.
So
But,
anyway,
to speak to the jealousy. So what I was saying, my gay autistic fan Rob, I had to tell him to like cool it a little bit because you know on Facebook, this is years ago. Facebook, he'd be like, "I want to smell your seat, I want to sniff your ass, lick your balls," like all this like wild, explicit shit under my pictures, and I'm like, you know, Rob, like. Chill, dude. I'm friends with my family on here and shit.
Yeah.
And then I saw him doing it to like Greg Stone, and I was like, what the fuck?
You got jealous.
Instantly, like that was me.
that was our thing.
Better looking than Greg, but come on.
Do you not want to sniff my seat anymore?
I mean, Jesus Christ.
It is funny, like to be like, yeah, I'm like family members follow me. Like every one of my comments is just like, look at that fat fucking retard. Like every picture I post, like, man, that guy's fucking retarded.
Oh yeah.
My mom will see. My mom's like, what's wrong with them? What are they mean to you? I'm like, they're fans.
Yeah.
Oh, at this point, I have friends of my dad and my uncle and like of my family that shadow follow me and then report back to them about things I've said, even vaguely about them.
So
Which
wait,
we talked about on now the last episode.
yeah. I won't subject you to the absolute fucking rantings of a lunatic.
I don't
though.
care, but your uncle's doing stand up.
He
How
sure
long
is,
has he been doing it?
Like 3 years.
All right.
But 3 years in the sense that like he'll do it once a month.
All right, so
You know what I mean?
He's horrendous.
And then he's beyond.
Horrendous.
Yeah, and not to mention he'll also complain about the business as if he's like us.
yeah, but I remember that.
Yeah.
But he's 65
I remember
with a
being like-
pension. He doesn't need to do this.
yeah.
Nobody asked him to.
I remember doing the thing where you'd be like, somebody would get Fallon, and you're like 2 years in, and you're like, oh, God. I mean, I was
It's like
right
they don't
here.
even care anymore.
It's like, I mean, they're not even booking talent anymore. They're just they're filling a quota.
They're just letting people that aren't even ready, he
Yeah, they're-
says as he puts his name in a bucket.
They're just letting the same guy do it for like the 7th time. What has he got to offer?
Yeah, that's a tough thing to break out of in stand up.
Oh yeah, the negative.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you started in Philly. Though,
I was in
right?
Philly, and up until like last year, I was miserable.
Is it
With-
just
with
because
comedy.
things went well? Like
This year,
since
things
then?
have been going well.
Yeah.
So before that, I mean, I was just as good.
Right,
But I
right.
just didn't have. I wasn't in New York and didn't have like representation or anything.
Or
So,
any
like,
any affirmation like
no
fan-
affirmation. So
Right.
it's just me arguing with fucking like woke comics in Philly every day.
Is Philly woke?
Other open micers.
now?
Every fucking scene
Yeah.
has a woke contingency.
Right.
because they're the less funny of the
Yeah, they're like
of
they,
the two teams.
They're not passed at the local club, so then they resent everyone that's at the local club,
Yeah.
and then
But yeah, I
blame
remember
racism.
that used to be such a funny thing because it's like you couldn't. Like what I feel like when we started, it was like you get good in bars and do it in open mics and stuff, and then once you do the bars, you get to go to the clubs, and then once you get to the clubs, you're like, okay, cool, that's how you make money and do things and stuff. And now it's like if you do clubs, people are like, oh, you're a club comic. You're like,
Yeah, club
I think
guy.
that was the same when we started though, because a special thing was really big. Did you ever go on that website? How long you been doing it?
I started like 8 years ago.
Oh, okay. So
9
yeah,
years
we're a little. I'm 10.
Yeah.
Same with you, I
Yeah.
think, right? And
I
so,
started in fucking Mechanicsburg for
no
the
shit.
first 6. So I was doing what your uncle was doing.
Okay, yeah.
For the
I mean,
first,
I
like,
was
6
too
years.
for
Yeah,
the
yeah,
beginning.
yeah.
So I'm not better than him in terms of effort. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that if you don't have to do this and to complain about it is just such an odd phenomenon.
Hilarious he's complaining about
Of
it.
course, yeah, and
So
like,
funny.
and talking to me about it as if I'm not about to have a fucking kid.
you get it,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
brother?
Yeah, and I'm like, no, this is my job. You don't have to do this. Nobody asked you to. You're not being paid. You run an open mic. You take grainy pictures of it every fucking week and post every goddamn comedian as if they're rocking the hat. Like, get the fuck, you cheeseball.
Capital killed.
Yeah, it just,
Like 3 likes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like, that's what I used to do in the beginning of
Yeah,
Instagram,
yeah.
but then you develop, and now Instagram is what it is. So
Oh
it's
yeah,
like,
man.
and you go back and delete all that evidence.
not I keep it up.
Yeah,
Warts
yeah,
and all,
yeah.
baby. That's my whole career. I have not manicured a single thing. I haven't blocked people on Facebook. That's why I'm stepping away, because my Facebook looks like the walls of a psychiatric ward. Like it's
Oh,
just.
yeah.
I used to have a conspiracy podcast, so it's flat earthers. It's like every
Nice.
comic going against each other. Sandy Hook was fake.
Well,
Like all that shit.
It
It's
was.
It's a bananas place.
it was. So
Title of the episode.
But we,
Sandy Hook was fake.
yeah, that'll rise up the SEO rankings. But fuck, man. See, but the thing that I immediately, this is maybe a shitty thing on my part. The thing that I immediately liked you for was when I did your show on Compound Network. That you brought a 6-pack with you to the taping. So I'm already like, this is great. This guy drinks.
Yeah.
I'm already on board with him. And then you proceeded. You drank the 6-pack. I thought it was for all of us, and then you just drank. Yeah. You just kept putting it back in the brown paper bag. You kept the 6 holder, and you just were like, all right, this one's done. I'll put it in it.
Yeah.
And then it was a 1-hour show, and they were gone.
Yeah.
You did your own power hour.
There's been some episodes where it's been like a 12-pack in the hour, and then at the end of the hour, I'm like, keep it going. This podcast is great. It's like an hour and a half episode. At the end, by the end of it, I'm like, black people are fucking.
I get it, Anthony. I get it.
Oh no!
That's our drop for when any of us kind of edge into that water, so people know.
It's kind of like a taser to get back on track a little bit, you know.
Oh, but that's another thing. Is I love our listeners. They're the best, but not everybody who follows me on social media listens to the podcast. So like, I'll say something, in a tweet, and somebody will just respond with "love that chicken from Popeyes," and I'm like, out of context, it's just so horrific.
They always have the gif of the woman smelling the chicken, and you're like, that's not the best one.
It's like, that's doing nobody favors.
It's funny though. I like it.
Oh, it's really great, honestly. I'll gladly.
But I feel like, and then at the stand opening that we were there, we were drinking. We were fucking drinking,
I've been
buddy.
getting fucked up lately, man.
I love it though, man.
Yeah,
You seem
it's
like,
all
but
right.
you seem like a drinker that so far, and I mean, we still have a new relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I haven't seen you like sloppy, stumbly drunk. I've seen you where I'm like, oh, he's drunk, but not you. You hold it together.
Yeah. I get fucked up, but then I talk shit to the wrong people.
Okay.
Like at the stand thing, I was talking to some lady. I was just talking shit to her, and then she walked away, and someone was like, "That lady was with Comedy Central." I was like, "Fuck Comedy Central." I was all fucking hammered. I was, it's a dying network. Who gives a fuck?
They're like, you're still talking with her. And she's like, no.
I woke up the next morning like, oh fuck. There was also another lady at the stand party that I walked up to, and she was like, I don't know. She was talking to a friend of mine who's a comic, and I was saying hi. I was just being friendly.
Yeah.
Like, just instantly, she hated me.
Yeah.
Was this Sagalo?
No, it wasn't Sagalo.
Oh, because there was a third lady as
There's
well.
a third lady?
Yeah.
It was a wild
There's
night.
a third lady who writes for a publication that you walked over and you're like, and she's like, hey, who are you? And I'm like, or you said Shane Gillis. And she's like, oh, I'm so-and-so, I write for. And you're like, you write for that and you don't know who I am? And then you just walked away.
Yes. Yes.
Honestly, fuck yeah. That is the best.
It's the worst anxiety in the world to wake up with, though.
So what?
Just be
Wait.
like, why
so,
do I get like arrogant? I get hammered, and I'm like, you know what? These motherfuckers should start showing me some respect. It's just a nice lady, like, hi, it's nice to meet you. Hey, you should know me.
But this
wait, go
could
ba-
be.
go
Hang
back
on,
to-
hang on.
all
This
right.
could be the player empowerment era for comedians. You know how in the NBA
true.
right now,
True.
everybody's kind of picking their own team. They're picking who they want to play with.
Yeah.
They hold all the fucking power. This, I believe, is the closest to player empowerment for comedians that we have.
I agree.
Yeah.
With Patreon and shit like that, where you can have your own, podcasts. Podcasts made it that way.
Yeah. But you're
you
now
can-
getting mainstream love as well.
Yeah, and then shit I've said on older podcasts is gonna, come back to really fuck me in the ass.
Wait,
but-
you got to finish the story though.
Oh, anyway, this lady was like, I don't know. She asked where I was from. I was like, I moved here from Philly. I was like, where are you from? And she was like, originally, or? And I was like, okay,
Whatever will
originally.
move this forward.
Originally, where are you from? And she was like, Lebanon. And I was like, oh, Lebanon. And she was like, no, it's pronounced Lebanon. I was like, nah, it's Lebanon. I was like, I'm a big fan of you guys, bologna, Lebanon bologna. You guys are right next to Lancaster. You guys, you're from around where I'm from. And she was like, you're saying this like the whitest way possible. And I was like, you're fucking whiter than me. Shut up. I was like, I'm like pink, gross, poor white.
Yeah.
Don't fuck it. You're like waspy, shitty white lady.
Yeah.
That's like sitting here like, I'm actually Middle Eastern. It's like, no, you're a fucking white lady
right.
cut it out.
Who got into college
Cut
and
it
probably
out.
got some financial aid because of that.
And then she got offended, and I was like, how the fuck's comedy treating you? I was like, you're offended in this conversation? How's comedy treating you? And she was like, great, and walked away. So when I run into her in 5 months, and I introduce myself again because I'll forget what she looked like.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, hey, how are you?
Yeah, I've had
She's like,
some
"You're an
real
asshole."
contentious
Yeah.
reintroductions where I'm just like, hey, I'm Mike. They're like, I know. We did this.
Wait, why do people do? It's like, hey, nice to meet you, and they're like, we've actually met like 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Make an impression.
Yeah, whose fault is it?
Yeah, if we have talked several different times and your face triggers fucking nothing, it is kind of on you. Like you have to do
And
something.
drinking. I've been
Right.
Yeah,
it's mostly-
I've been on both. There's nothing I hate more than when someone says that to me, but I've definitely also said
Oh,
it to
it happens
people
all the
before.
time.
But I'll say it to people if it's like, if maybe, I mean, it has to be an egregious amount of times, but I try to always disarm it by being like, oh, what's up, dude? Yeah, we met before at this thing. I'll try to say where, not just be
Yes.
like, yeah, we've met before.
Yes.
Because also that's a weird thing if you go, we met before, I go, from where? Now I have to ask you, like, I don't believe you. Where did I meet you, you know? And then it could be
Yeah.
like you yelled at me at a Comedy Central at a party, you know?
Can I do a brief aside? Is this live right now, the show,
No.
Alex?
No.
Okay, because that guy that called me messaged me again on Facebook Messenger at the moment we're talking about him, and he's like, and the call was an accidental dial. Called my landlord too, apparently. Fuck the screen on Galaxy 10. New to me, but it's apparently still super sensitive in a pocket.
right.
Oh.
Buddy, thanks for being a fan.
Good thing we trashed him and set him off to sea.
Yeah.
Lit the barge on fire as we sent it out. Hey, good luck. Fucking leave us alone, you piece of shit. I don't want to fucking get a call from you.
I'll see you in Portland, mate.
Yeah. With
Wait,
that said, keep
Portland-
leaving those 5-star
Portland,
reviews.
Maine.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, I thought you were going out to Portland. I was like,
No.
damn, you got a nationwide draw? Nice.
No. I mean, we do okay in certain
Well,
cities
Maine's,
on the West
yeah,
Coast.
Maine's of it, yeah.
But yeah, I
Might as well
guess-
be fucking
Who
Oregon.
knows, man? You never know because people from Skankfest are like, from all over
Yeah.
the fucking place, and they're like, we listen to you, this and that.
Yeah.
I got Fred, blah blah blah, and you're like, I have no idea. I can't figure out where these people are coming from because even like you get analytics from this, which are whatever, but then you get analytics from Instagram, and it's like totally different cities than what you're hitting with this, so you have no idea what the fuck's what.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Now I'm getting anxiety again about talking shit to this.
Well, you stew in your anxiety for a sec because we have to tell everybody to keep leaving us 5-star reviews on iTunes. If you haven't already, thank you for those who have. And follow us on social media at Irish Goodbye Pod, on Twitter at Irish Goodbye Podcast, on Instagram. And send us an email if you want at irishgoodbyepodcast@gmail.com. And also,
Have
if
we
you
checked
want to
it?
support
In
this,
months?
we did. We're good. We're
Okay.
we're caught up. So you guys can go, if you want to support the show, besides telling to people about it, is go to gasdigital.com. You can get a subscription using the code IGP, and that'll also give you a discount on podcastmerch.com. That's
we
the
have
name of
a
it now.
plenty at this point.
Look at all that shit. We got shirts up there. We got the Skankfest Supreme shirts. Those sold like hotcakes at Skankfest.
We got a
so
new
now
IGPB
PT.
PT logo that we might turn into something as well.
Yes.
So we're merching out our fucking asses.
Yeah, this is great. And I have to find the name of the person who did that.
Has
but,
anyone ever bought a smoke bomb? Because that was such a good idea that I feel like not enough people.
I don't think it's
enjoyed.
happened. I don't know
smoke
if it's
bomb.
happened.
We had an Irish goodbye
It's right
smoke
there.
bomb
Yeah,
to
look.
fucking vanish.
And a glass. It comes with a pint glass and a sticker, so you could fucking drink and then Irish goodbye. That's the thought behind it, right? Practical or just something that should have been mentioned once on a podcast.
A joke taken too far.
You be the judge. Well, the the analytics were the judge in terms of sales. So, Shane, where are you going to be, man? Where can people find you?
Fuck. I will be at. This is exciting.
This is exciting.
August 22nd, the Harrisburg Comedy Zone. The 23rd and 24th of August, DC Draft House. 21st through 25th, Cap City in Austin, Texas.
Fuck
oh,
yeah.
fuck yeah, dude.
So the end of August. Go to those.
That's great.
Yeah, it'll be
That's
fun.
You're getting out there.
I am, yeah.
It's fucking beautiful. Fiends?
Yeah, also, I want to give it a plug. Alex, do you have that logo for the...
I'll put up in 1 second.
Okay, cool. So the good news is, as we've mentioned before, and I mentioned on Real Life Podcast, Irish Goodbye going to be doing live at Skankfest, both a podcast and now a beer pong tournament, which is incredible. Again, they haven't announced anything yet. and
Skankfest
yet,
Houston?
Skankfest.
yeah, and we're doing
nice.
it, and Man Chain Secret Podcast, right? That's what you guys
I don't
doing?
know.
Okay.
I don't know if I haven't agreed.
You could force the issue,
I haven't
though,
agreed
like
to go
us.
to Houston.
That's the difference between us is we are desperate to join, and you're like, I haven't agreed to anything.
No.
I haven't gotten contract points.
God damn, dude. Am I a dickhead? Am I a fucking dickhead?
Man, we really caught you on a vulnerable day. I thought you were gonna come in here with the fucking sixer. You know what I mean?
This is like I've been drunk for like 5 days and
Well, I know leaving the show last night, you're like, I've been drinking a lot, and then you walk directly across the street to the bar.
yeah, man. And never mind.
Well, we'll get to
not gonna get into it.
we'll get to that in a second. Let me finish this. So whoever somebody wrote us, made us an awesome logo for the skank. Look at that, and that's from
that's awesome.
All Good 23, which is great. It's got the little Texas, the little sheriff badge thing going on. So thank you for doing that, All Good 23. And if you guys,
All Good 23.
Yeah.
He's the fucking man. He's great.
Yeah.
Great fucking artwork.
Oh fuck yeah!
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
So go to him if you
I
need
don't know if he
artwork.
follows me.
You get him.
But so that's the official Skankfest Irish Goodbye fucking logo that we got. You guys can go to MikeFeeneyComedy.com.
I did get nervous, though, at first when I saw the black, silver, and red and white. I was like, ooh, this is very potentially Nazi-ish.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about the color pattern.
Yeah, fun Third Reich.
MikeFeeneyComedy.com for dates, album recording September 15th, New York Comedy Club. Do that. Be there.
do
Headlining
that.
a bunch of other dates beforehand.
nice,
If you're out of state, check that out on my website. And then at I Am Mike Feeney on social media. And, of course, Mike Feeney Comedy on YouTube.
Hell yeah. Alex, do you have my dates up as well? Nope. Oh, you do. Good for you. Holy shit, you're really good today. August 17th through 20th, I'm in Atlantic City at the Borgata Hotel and Casino. 4 shows for that. August 25th, this is the one that I've constantly been begging and pleading for people to come to. And then once you come and call me on Facebook Messenger, I immediately mock you. So I apologize. August 25th, Portland, Maine, Empire Theater. Tickets, MikeCannonComedy.com. Again, door deal. Please don't make me lose my shirt. Let's do this as a goddamn fan base. September 6th through 7th, Washington, D.C. DC Comedy Loft. Come out to that. Tickets at MikeCannonComedy.com. September 20th, Feeney and I, Philly Punchline.
Boom.
We're doing 2 shows and then a potential live podcast out in the bar.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Out in the parking lot.
Yeah, out in the parking lot.
Jesus
It's happening
Christ.
regardless. And then October 5th through 7th, Zany's Comedy Club, 2 headlining shows, the 5th and 6th. And then the 7th, Feeney and I are doing a live Irish Goodbye podcast. Get tickets, MikeCannonComedy.com.
Come out.
Follow me on social media, all that shit, at I Am Mike Cannon. And then I think that's pretty much it, right?
Okay, yeah. Alex, where are you going to be?
You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at I am Alex Scar and check out my podcast with Kim Congdon called Broad Topics, TOPIX, available on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, anywhere you find podcasts.
Sweet. I do have a quick thing that happened the same night as the stand opening party because they just opened up now with their new room, which they look great.
Yeah.
I mean, both those rooms.
Oh,
look
I got a
fucking-
show there tonight. Every Thursday.
Boom! There's something
Every
to plug.
Thursday at 7 at the stand. Come to that.
Weekly.
Yeah, weekly.
Fuck yeah,
at the
man.
stand every Thursday night.
Fuck yeah!
You
That
doing
would be
it
great.
It's
downstairs?
no, upstairs. It's a happy hour type show. It's
Oh,
called
cool.
Citywide because in Philly they wanted to make it like a Philly themed show, but me and Abby both. Abby's my co-host, and we both lived in Philly for like 3 years, and that was it. So I didn't want to be a fraud.
Yeah.
Called the actual Philly comics, but there's a Citywide special, which is a tall boy and a shot of whiskey for $5. So.
Oh, fuck yeah. And they're doing
come
that
black
at the
out. Yeah.
Come black out.
I'm like, I gotta chill with all this drinking.
Irish Goodbye. Yeah.
I'm gonna host a fucking drinking show once a week, blacking out.
Dude,
Irish
that's
Goodbye
what's brutal
listeners,
about
that's
doing
the
this
show to
fucking
go
podcast.
to.
I haven't drank for over 7 months, and doing this fucking show has been the most difficult part
Oh,
of
that's
it.
what it is. Like with so that show's Wednesday nights. Mm-hmm. So now I'm rolling in Wednesday and Thursday drinking.
Yeah. What are you gonna
And
not
then
drink on
weekends-
Friday and
Yeah,
Saturday?
come on, it's a weekend. I've earned it.
Sunday to fucking recoup and kind of
It's,
maintenance.
it's amazing not having a job and then still on Friday and Saturdays being like, it's a weekend.
Yes, exactly.
A couple fucking beers.
It's where we make the most money, and we're like, now's the time.
Yeah, the 2 days I actually work a week.
Yeah, I need to be hungover for one of them.
Yeah. I need to sweat and not be able to think for the Saturday shows.
for my job that's
While
only
I
thinking.
struggle to get to 45 minutes.
Did you drink on the road when you went out with Soder? Because
He doesn't drink, so he'd like get high and go to bed. And I'd be shit faced by myself.
Love that.
Yeah, sad nights. Real
That's how it was with me and DeStefano though, because he's not like that at all. But I was like, rip roaring out on the road for the first time, getting free drinks, drinking with the staff, getting fucking weird, dude. And we would share hotel rooms because he has abandonment issues. So I'd like stumble in and like headbutt the fucking coffee table, and he'd just be like, he'd love it.
Oh yeah.
It's always weird when a person like a person who's because he's not really sober. He does drink just very rarely, right?
Yeah, he just doesn't.
That's the right. That's correct.
But it's a weird. No, I know. No, I'm saying it's a weird thing when someone who doesn't drink kind of like almost gets off to somebody when they're like shit faced or stoned. When someone's stoned, even if you're like stoned and they're like, "Hey, what's going on, man? You're pretty high right now, aren't you?" You're like, "What are you doing?"
No, if someone's fucking hammered, I'm so happy. Like my friend Chris O'Connor, he's a comic from Philly. He's hilarious, but when he gets fucked up, it's like my favorite thing in the world.
Sure.
Just to watch him scurry around because he makes the same mistakes I do. Which is, like you go around and you see somebody that like you think sucks at comedy.
Yeah.
So you're like, you know what? You're not that fucking great.
That's the best is when you can watch it and it kind of green lights your own behavior and it reduces your anxiety because you're like, at least somebody else is out there tearing it up the same way.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
someone else is also unlikable.
Yeah. Many of us. So it's the day of the stand thing going off, and this actually ties in perfectly with the drinking. So I am doing a spot. I go over to the stand. They're giving out all these drinks. I have a drink there, one of these awesome tequila cocktail things.
Yeah,
with,
crazy.
There's a guy wearing like a fucking I'm gonna chop a body up smock, like those leather smocks,
Well, they got blow torches.
Yeah,
and
he's like,
beakers and
yeah,
the
he's
whole
blowing,
nine,
yeah,
right?
he's fucking like fart
Dry
dusting
ice.
on it. Yeah, so
There was lobster.
What?
yeah, there was
Yeah, I was walking around with handfuls of lobster and Miller High Lifes. Fucked up.
So I drink one of those, and then I was like, I got to go over to New York Comedy Club because I had a spot over there. So I run over to 4th Street, which is so close back and forth. It's just great. So I go over there, and it's a good crowd for whatever it was. It was a 10:30 on a Monday or something show, and I'm on. And the second I get on stage, I see a guy sleeping. He's not at the front, he's a little off to the right, but he's dead asleep, and he's by himself, and he's just arms folded and down. So you have that decision to make where you're like, do I be like, well, does this guy fuck, do you call attention to wake him up? Like, I don't know if this guy's going to wake up and be like, fuck you and fuck you, So I'm like, I'm just going to let sleeping dogs lie kind of a thing. So I don't address it my entire set. It was a good set. I get off stage. Robert Dean comes on after me. It's the exact same thing. Notices the guy. He's just like, he's out, fuck it, whatever, just plow ahead. He does his whole set, he gets lit, and then he goes to go into his last joke, and the guy wakes up and just goes, where am I? How do I get out of here? And he fucking turns, he goes, how do I get out of here? And turns and walks directly into a tray full of drinks and knocks all of them over, and they shatter all over the ground. Robert G, like, he's already lit, he's like, good night. Like, how do you? This very send off, and just like, and came like, they had to help him out of the showroom, and he's just kind of stumbling there, and they're telling him he's got to like pay his check, and he's just like throwing money down, and then they do that thing that drunk you when you're really shit faced, and you're like, you kind of fucked up, so you just put your hands in your pocket as you walk away.
Yeah.
Like,
you do the cowboy mosey.
I got it.
Oh man. That fucking hands in the pocket is a real move.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
That's a real move.
Double
It's to
hands.
show I can do this still.
Yeah, it's just like,
But
hey
that's
man,
when you
I
really
understand.
lose balance.
Oh,
If you see a drunk person try to get something out of their pocket, it's like
Because your center of
this is-
gravity,
yeah,
you can't
yeah,
do.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why I always walk around like this when I'm drinking. Yeah.
I saw somebody bite it doing that.
Yes.
Like trying to reach into
tough.
their pocket and instantly just lose all equilibrium and go down and brace their fall with their face. Like just full no arms, can't take their hand out. Just kind
Yeah.
of like, this is going to be shoulder and jaw mostly.
yeah, it's gonna happen to me at one of these parties eventually. Moments after talking shit to someone.
People got pretty shit faced there, I will say, because when I came back, it was one of those things where I had left for just enough time where people probably got 2 to 3 drinks more in them.
Right.
And so when people were like, kind of like, yeah, bye. And when I came back, people were like, and here's why I fucking love you, dude. Like, just like grabbing
Well, it's like
each other.
going inside at dusk and then coming back out an hour later thinking the sunset's
Yeah,
still
yeah,
going to
yeah.
be there, but it's pitch black.
Yeah.
People are fucking
we
out of their
went
minds.
out to another bar afterwards.
Yeah.
I got in like a fight with like a with like a fucking
many bar
retarded guy with a ponytail that was playing pool. I guess I started heckling him and he didn't like it. And it was aggressive.
How many bar fights have you been
I'm not
in?
much. I don't get in fights. I don't know if you can believe this. Most fights are someone punching me in the face first, because I'm usually like, wait, it's just joking, just fucking around.
Buddy, you and I are a lot alike in a
Walk
lot
up-
of ways.
Yeah, just walking
Starting
up to a
see that.
stranger, being like, you suck at pool, right? I'm just fucking around.
But seriously, hit that shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to mention, it's probably the only talent he has, and he's just hanging on for dear life.
He brought a pool cue. I remember that. He had,
God.
he had it like zipped up.
Screws it in and a little.
Yeah. And then we talked a ton of shit. And it got to the point where I was like, I'm gonna have to fuck this guy up. I have to fight. I would have got wrecked. I was hammered. I'm horribly out of shape. And so then one of the comics challenged him to pool, and it was like a big. Two of them tried to play. They tried to play 2-on-2 with him and his friend, and he was like, "We don't play fucking doubles." And it was like, "Oh!" And I was instigating as much as I could. I was like, "Oh, he just called you guys a bitch." And then he lost the guy.
So then you turned your focus to the comedian.
I tried to join his side.
Yeah. You just stand next to them like,
did.
right, gang?
I did, and the guy didn't take it. He was not for it. I was like, I'm with you guys, and he was like, no, you're not. And so then he faced off one-on-one with a comic, and he scratched on the break.
Oh, shit.
The ball went off the table, and I was like, you lost. I was like, you have to zip up your pool cue and go home. You lost on the first shot.
It's almost impossible.
Yeah, he knocked it off the table. He was fired up.
That's
he
how
tried to hit
mad he
it.
was.
Holy
He was
shit.
mad. He tried to hit it as
You
hard
got in
as he
his
could.
head, dude.
I Conor McGregor'd him. He was fired up going into the fight.
Just had lost his game plan, didn't know how to
Totally.
react.
And then
So-
you got choked out afterwards. Okay.
I got choked. Yeah.
What did he did he
The
pop
guy
after
that played against him, no, he was like totally defeated. This guy, he was kind of a fucking dorky, weird dude. I mean, he was playing pool at like
Right.
fucking 3 a.m.
With a
on a
ponytail.
Monday with a ponytail. And I think his sidekick was like Native American. It was an interesting squad. And,
That was like his name, Squat.
yeah. Sucks at pool. And yeah, he was like visibly, he was like, it's up to the other guy if he wants to count that as a loss or not. And then that's the rule. Like, he was like sad.
Oh,
And then I immediately felt bad. I was like, sorry, bud. I came in, the one thing this guy had, I showed up like, you suck at it.
Yeah. Just pour a beer over his head. You shut up, nerd.
That's like you walking out of a club after a bomb and a stranger walks by and goes, "What are you, a comedian?" You're like, "Yeah." And you're like, "What'd you take? Shit? You just ate shit?"
Yeah.
You're like,
Or
you're
like,
probably not funny.
yeah, confronting someone before a show.
Yeah.
And being like, I'll go watch this, dude. I'll fucking murder right now. And fall off the stage.
Have you ever done that, by the way?
No, I haven't.
I have.
Yo, have you watched the Pablo Francisco video?
Yes. Wasn't our friend
of
opening
sad.
for him?
I don't know.
Oh, that was a different time.
different
That was a different time. That was after where she was like his sober coach for like a full weekend.
So you fell off?
Yeah, so I was on the Upper East Side. I was doing this show. This is years ago, and it was mostly because I was high. But I was smoking like a vape pen when they were brand new in New York. Nobody had them. I had no idea what it was or how much I could intake.
Remember wax? Like the.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
wax.
You
I was
just-
like basically dabbing in the back of this fucking bar, and I didn't know. And I was on stage, and I was doing really well, and I felt so free. I was just like throwing my body all over the place, and I was basically like, and another thing, and my whole body just took me into the audience, and I fell directly on my ribs, and I had to get up and was just like, like in so much fucking pain.
How did you, what do you do after that?
I
You
mean,
gotta go home.
I pretty much just went home. Yeah, it was one of the
You
most
need to acknowledge
embarrassing
that, like,
things.
that's the funniest thing possible.
I think
That
that's
was that. There's nothing I'm gonna say funnier than that.
Self-conscious in pain laugh.
Oh yeah.
This is great.
yeah, it's part of it.
Oh, I had that. I had that laugh. I was at a party at Temple in Philly, and it was a basement party. And I was coming down the steps, and I fell. I slipped down the steps, bashed my fucking hip. My hip went straight onto it because the steps were wet, and I just slid down the fucking steps into this party. And the whole party, and I'm huge, so the noise.
Why it's funny.
Dude, the noise was like. It was like over the music. Like everyone stopped. And
I could both see and hear it.
imagine just you're at a party and a huge thing goes flying down the steps.
Oh my God.
Then the whole party started an asshole chant.
Oh, no.
And I had to be like,
That's right.
yeah, I'm an asshole.
Get this asshole a beer. Huh?
I was like, I like hugged my friend. I was like, I broke my fucking hip. I broke my fucking hip, dude. We gotta go.
Well, that's the worst. Is like you already just disrupted the whole party.
yeah.
Now you can't also bring
humiliated.
medical attention
Yeah.
to it. Like, has it
Ow!
actually hurt?
Owie! Somebody help!
Oh man, here's another one.
Yes.
I was at a fucking Halloween party like last year in Philly. It was a college party. I'm fucking 30. I was 30. I was at this college party. It was a Halloween party, and I was wearing a tracksuit just by chance.
Right.
Like everyone was in costumes.
That
so
was
I
just
was
your
like,
clothes.
I can actually wear this. And I fell down the steps.
Which way, heel slipped or like tripped head over heels?
Ass or feet first.
Yeah.
Sorry. And when I fell like directly at the feet of like a hot college chick. And she was like, she goes, Jesus, mister.
Oh no!
She called me mister. I was like, oh man, I gotta go home. I gotta go home
Jesus,
now.
mister, you look real banged up, you do.
It
Dude,
was Philly.
the
Like, God damn, mister, you just fell down them steps.
the involuntary noises that some people make on falls. My grandpa, who is not a slender man, or who was not, he was like 6'4", like 350 at the time, like just a big guy. And his steps coming from the upstairs of his Levittown house were carpet. So I watched him come lumbering down during a family party, and all you hear is, it was like a perfect sing-songy, like, no!
Damn, I got another one.
Yeah.
I fell down the steps again. I came home fucked up to my parents' house, got like halfway up the steps. It was at like 2 a.m, and I was like, I gotta get a drink. So I turned back to go back down the steps and just fell the whole way down the steps. And at the bottom, I like
A
rolled.
hot woman was standing there.
Yeah, the college chick was like, no. My feet caught the front door of our house. So my feet were flat against it. And when I fell, I fucking kneed myself in the face. I kneed myself.
I've done that.
I gave myself a black eye. And I didn't know my sister was home. She was in the living room and woke up to that fucking that noise, followed by all she heard was me in the fucking outside being like, oh. And I was like moaning, and she was like, Shane, and I was like, yeah,
Yes.
I'm fine.
Dude, I have done that so many times where I've fallen and like bit my tooth, or I hit myself in the nose once where it felt like a perfect connect with a metal bat. Like it was that kind of boom, and it reverberated in my skull, and I was like, I just broke my nose.
Yeah, man.
I was just pouring blood, and I just never got it checked out of embarrassment. I have just Owen Wilson it through my entire life.
I did that thing where I was at, like, I remember I was at a Yankee game, and I was like talking about wearing shorts.
Fuck, I got another one. Jesus Christ, I've fallen down the steps way more than I remember. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
I was drinking at a Yankee game, and it was like one of those late start of a game, so it started out really hot, so I wore shorts. Everybody else wore jeans, and they were ragging on me for not wearing jeans, right? And I was like, why, guys? I feel great. So I start walking up the steps, and they said, like, they did something, and I tried to turn as I walked, and my foot, like, my toe, like, missed the step, and I went fucking shin first into just concrete, and then they just laughed, and the whole section starts looking at, and I had to just be like, like, and you're like, you can't even walk. I sat back down. They're like, where are you going to the bathroom? I'm like, I'm gonna hold it. I think I'm gonna hold it.
I lived in Spain for a while. I went over there and I taught English in Spain.
What?
Yeah.
We're 53 minutes in, man.
Yeah. So I used to go by myself. I would go to Atletico Madrid games, these soccer games.
Dude, yeah, that's the first soccer game I ever went to was Atletico Madrid. I fucking love them.
In Spain?
I saw them
nice.
against. I
At
saw
the Calderon.
Yeah, dude. One of the
Yeah.
last games. It was the last time they were playing.
In the stadium.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was the
Right?
last season they were playing in the stadium, but they were playing against fucking. Oh, I can't think
Real.
of it.
Real,
They were playing
Barcelona,
against
yeah.
Real, and Ronaldo had a hat trick on them
Oh,
and fucking
incredible.
smoked it. But it was the best people to drink with
that
ever.
was the year I was there.
2 years ago or
No,
3 years
never
ago?
mind. Yeah, it was about
3 years ago.
No, never mind. I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I was there in 13.
Oh no,
14,
this
so
was
6.
more recent. Sorry, too many
2 years
stairs.
ago.
Time flies when you're falling down the steps.
But yeah, man, I would get fucking hammered by myself and go to the games.
those big
People with
beers.
sacks of wine.
Those
It would
big-
fucking. It was amazing. At halftime, everyone takes out sandwiches and weed.
Yeah,
It's incredible.
No shit.
Yeah, the
It's
whole
the
stadium.
best.
But I was by myself, shit faced, and this couple in front of me asked me to take their picture, and so we're standing on the steps. They go out in the aisle, and they're facing me with the field behind them, and I just fell down the steps, and I tried to still hold the camera and be like, I got it from here, laying down, trying to take this couple's picture, and they were like, no, are you okay? Like, are you okay? And I was like, I'm fucking fine. I'm fine.
Yeah,
And
play
they were
through
like,
injuries.
Like, you need to leave. You need to leave the stadium. I left at halftime. Yeah.
Did you? So you speak Spanish?
Hold on, I
used
have
to.
one more
I
falling.
used to.
I have one more
Yeah, no,
falling
good.
story. This is in high school. My basketball team got to practice at MSG.
Awesome.
And it was so fucking sick. We ended up staying and like sitting courtside at the NIT tournament to watch.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was cheese fries, but like a food as perfect as that. But this is what I'm remembering. It was some sloppy food that this guy was walking to his seat and tripped so hard and pegged a person directly in the face with the tray of food. It was just the perfect momentum where he fucking like just fucking spiked.
At the fucking NIT tournament, too.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm at this bullshit basketball game.
$11 for the seat.
Definitely
Like, you know
going
what?
there as like an office gift.
Yeah. Like, you know what? Maybe this won't be so. Oh, this is fucking
Long
with
Island
cheese.
Ducks. Yeah.
Oh, man.
So wait, you didn't speak Spanish, but you taught English?
Yeah, it was I mean, I could speak Spanish a little. And back then, by the time I was done, I was pretty close to fluent. Like,
Holy
I could
shit.
talk to people and shit. But it was it's like an immersion program where you're only allowed to speak English at the school.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, but you were good at teaching English?
No, I was a horrible teacher.
Is that what you went to school for? Was teaching?
I went to school for history, was going to get a teaching degree with it, and just stopped.
Yeah.
Just graduated with regular
That's
history.
crazy. But you were in Madrid.
Lived in Madrid.
Isn't it like that's like honestly one of my favorite? I felt like cities that I've ever
loved
been
it.
to.
It was
like
fucking incredible.
everything is cheap. You don't even have to go to restaurants. You just fucking eat the tapas for free the entire
you just
time.
drink, and every time you get a beer, they give you food.
Yeah,
So for dinner, you
Jesus.
just go out and have
and each beer is like this big.
15
It's like
beers.
Alligator Lounge on 14th and 1st, where you buy a beer,
Yeah.
they just give you a small pizza.
Oh, really?
Yeah, exactly like that.
Where
yeah,
is?
I can't believe it.
Alligator Lounge.
Yeah,
give you-
14th and 1st. They have awesome skee ball as well.
There's a place in
open,
Brooklyn.
right?
There's a place in Brooklyn on.
They used to have a
Bedford
show
that used
there.
to do that too.
Sean Donnelly and Robert Dean used to have a show at that
Right.
place. I think it was Crocodile Lounge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. Or maybe Alligator. No, Alligator Lounge.
Who knows?
Yeah.
It was all-
But yeah, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, Spain was awesome.
It's such a fucking fun. But everybody drinks vermouth there, like out of like a draft system, which is like real weird.
What is that?
Vermouth. It's like
Isn't that what
it's
goes
like a
in martinis?
No. Oh wait, not vermouth. Well, yeah, it is. Yeah, right. Vermouth. Or am I thinking of? What am I thinking of? What is
Or am I thinking of triple sec?
No, you are right that vermouth does go in martinis, but I'm thinking of like it's like red. It almost is like a sweet wine.
What is
A
a
lot of
sack
people
of
drink
wine look like?
sangria. I know that's not what you're thinking.
Yeah. What is a
sack
sack
of
of wine?
wine.
Yeah.
Exactly what you
No.
think.
Like a
horn-
burlap
like a
sack?
horn
Maybe it
with like
was
a
for me.
nozzle at the end
No one's-
that you can spray to people.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was incredible.
It's weird though that also used to be an insult.
What
you,
was
you sack of wine.
Oh, yeah.
It was like
Troy.
Sack of wine?
in the medieval
In
times.
Troy,
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, that's what it's
One of the worst lines ever.
It's the worst.
The king offends Brad Pitt, and he's like, "Sack of wine."
It's like they wanted to be as fucking,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
authentic as possible because they had HGH back then, and also they called
Yeah,
people
yeah.
sacks of wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would wear him from that movie, dude. Holy shit.
Oh.
That is dream body right there.
That is.
190-pound Brad Pitt.
Somebody ruined that movie for me. They're like, watch how many times they just show Brad Pitt staring into the distance.
Oh yeah, it's
the whole
full,
fucking movie.
Yeah,
It's full blue steel. Yeah.
It's roughly some movies are like you're like, oh, this could be a little long. I think that movie's like roughly 2 hours too long. I think I mean it should be a 45-minute movie, and
Yeah.
it's just him like brooding and in like tents and low lighting for a while,
yeah.
strategizing, and you're like, this is.
I would have liked a few more workout montages if they could have somehow got that in, and he's doing more.
They just made
sport
it
work.
Rocky.
Yeah, that's all I wanted. I want a
Let's
Troy
have Brad Pitt in Rocky.
Ah, that would be good.
One good line out of that though is when the kid's like, he said that a little kid says something to Brad Pitt and he's on his horse and he's like, "That's why no one's gonna remember your name," and then rides away. It's like,
Oh yeah,
damn.
he's like, "Aren't you scared, Mister?"
Yeah, it's like no one's gonna fucking remember you, dude.
Brad Pitt was Shane drunk, you know?
He's drinking wine. He's like, "You don't fucking know me, bro." Anyway,
Then the horse
sack of
falls
wine,
down
little
the
piece of
steps.
shit.
The horse just trips, falls down the steps.
Brad Pitt wakes up the next morning. Like, I gotta call that kid. I gotta DM that kid and be like, "I'm sorry, bro."
Let's send him a message. Messenger the thing. Fuck, dude, that's crazy though that you were fucking. I never would have guessed that you were teaching English just you, because I felt like the fucking most gringo white
Oh my
person
God.
of all
People
time.
thought I was. People would speak English in front of me. They thought I was like Russian. I'd be wearing tracksuits, just walking around, giant white dude.
Yeah.
People literally would speak American English in front of me.
About you.
No, just like sometimes they'd just be talking, and I'd be like, "I'm American." They'd be like, "Geez."
This guy sucks.
Oh, the first game I went to, the Atletico game, their like fan section, their like mascot's like a Native American. So they all wear like American sports, Native American gear. It's crazy. They wear like a Braves shirt, a Cleveland Indians shirt, all that. I saw a guy in a fucking Cleveland Indians like starter jacket. And I was
Holy
like, "Oh
shit.
fuck, Cleveland?" He's like, "No." I was like, "You from Cleveland, bro? I'm from fucking Pennsylvania."
Well, he can't understand. He just sees a big one going.
Wow, that's so interesting though. So they're obviously not offended by it.
Yeah,
They
they're not
rep
worried about
it.
it. Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah. And what's crazy is the Real team's thing is a Viking, and they're like the fascist team.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Real Madrid was like during the Spanish Civil War was like the fascist, like the royal team.
Yeah, they're very elitist.
Barcelona's like communist. There's a lot of like
no
politics
It's like,
behind all
yeah, because
games.
the Real is more like they have this. It's like their team. They always wear like white. It's like very clean, pristine. They say
Right.
Real is like Atletico is like the working class,
Yeah,
kind of
Atletico's
like they
awesome.
have the stripes. They're like workers, like blue collar. You know,
You
and
gotta
it's-
love soccer for that because it can be completely taken over by like tyrants and stuff
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
how Escobar and other drug cartels would just buy players and play them against each other like
Yeah.
they're a live chess match.
Yeah,
Yeah, they really did that. And then there's a book called like How Soccer Explains the World, and there's all these different like each one of these countries has teams like that where like there's always a civil war in all these shitty countries, and during every war like
Ours
one
too.
side got that. Yeah, well, I mean that'd be cool if we did that.
I mean, we have and we won.
Yeah.
No, I meant like team wise.
Yeah,
They're
no,
like the
nobody gives a
Patriots.
shit. Did you see what's his name? Zlatan or whatever? The fucking Greek guy, that guy that looks like a fucking statue.
Zlatan, yeah, he's Swedish. Yeah.
He's insane, but he just had an interview about like what does he think about the other guy in LA that is at the prime of his career, and he's like, he says he's the best guy in the MLS. He goes, he's 29 and he's in the prime of his career. Where is he playing? They're like MLS. He goes, and where was I playing? And they're like, Europe. He's like, exactly.
Yeah, Zlatan's he's awesome.
He does not
He's
give
awesome.
a fuck.
Real signed to this kid from like Scandinavia, one of those countries, and they were like, "What do you think of him?" And Zlatan was like, "Until he defeats his father, he is nothing." And I was like, "Jesus Christ, man, what are you talking about?" He's like a 16-year-old.
He had also gotten drunk with Shane earlier.
What is that, my dad?
You got to fist fight your dad first, and then you come talk to me.
Fucking little sack of wine, piece of shit.
Have you ever fist fought your dad?
I've gotten in some fights with him, but no, I couldn't fist fight him. He would fuck me up.
No shit, yeah.
Now it would be sad because he's old, but yeah. he's a beast.
How
Yeah.
big? So are you on the small side of your family? Or
No,
right,
no,
like-
no. My dad's probably like 6'2". I'm like 6'3". He was a big guy though.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was the youngest of like 5 brothers that are all monsters.
Yeah.
So he has fight stories. I don't. I'm kind of
You just
a soft
talk
bitch
shit.
that goes to Spain because I liked Hemingway.
Soft bitch that goes to Spain.
yeah.
If only Lewis was here to see.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
I don't make any bones about it. I'm a soft bitch, pussy.
But you're the bull, isn't that your?
No, I don't want that to continue. It's funny, but I don't want to have a fucking Puerto Rican rattlesnake type nickname.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that because you went to Spain?
No, that was just because in Philly you say like, "What up, bull?"
Oh, really?
Like young bull. It's spelled BOL.
Oh, wow.
It's not bull, but yeah, people like, "Hey, the bull, what up?" Like that. Yeah. Actually, it was sick. Yesterday, Bennington was on Bonfire, and we were talking, and we were watching somebody get cucked. Oh, did I say? No, I didn't say this. Yeah, I did say this.
I thought you were going to look at me and be like, it was you.
No, I was like, some horrific movie scene where there's a movie from like the 90s, early 90s, where this dude kidnaps a wife and husband and then ends up cucking the husband.
Is that Straw Dogs?
I don't know what it was.
Uh-huh.
It's the guy from Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, shit.
He was in it. Madsen? Is that somebody's name?
Yeah, Michael Madsen.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He fucks this guy's wife, and the wife's like into it. She's like fucking, or like, ugh.
Oh.
And this guy's like tied up, like, no. And so I felt bad. I was like, damn, that guy, that's like one of the worst movie scenes I've ever seen. Like, this guy like is like tied to a chair, like leans into the room, and he's like, no. And his wife's like coming.
Oh, God.
And then they were like, yeah, well, he gets hung. So I was like, nice. The guy fucking broke out and killed those two. Hell yeah. And he was like, no, the guy hangs himself out of shame. I was like, what a horrible movie. And he was like, Bennington was like, what are you worried about the cuck for? You're the bull. I was like, yes, dude. Yeah, you're right. Fuck.